Okay, hello and welcome. So, today will be an interesting day, and I think I need to maybe put the music slightly lower. Okay. It's just about as the song ends. Perfect timing, as usual. Right. So, yesterday I kind of spent the entire stream trying to figure out the IRC integration. And it turns out it was already kind of working, except I just kind of misconfigured my plugin. Because the channel that I was joining was basically just happy Cerberus, but obviously the channel is whatever this thing is called actually in English, I don't even know. You know, but including the special character. So that should be the only problem, and let's just double check if that's indeed the case. So I will just quickly go and change the authentication. So let me just do that very quickly, off screen of course, because you don't get to see that. And okay, I just need to check so which is which. Let's see. I'm reading. Where is my input? Over here, right? So it's user channel all. So the second line just needs to get modified. Right. I can bring that back. And now if I run this. Right. Is that working now? Let's see. Well, maybe it's still not working. Let's just do a test. Yeah, okay, cool. So now the bot is actually getting the messages from the chat as well, which is very cool. So the bot can now send messages, it can read messages. So before I end up working on the YouTube integration, I just want to clean up this code slightly, because there's a lot of craft that I really don't need. And once that is cleaned up, I can move on to the YouTube stuff. And yeah, like if you are joining for the first time, if you have any questions, just drop them into the comments. You know, I will be answering everything. I don't mind like stopping for a bit and, you know, answering stuff. Right. So really the things we need is just the connect, the join. So connect is event triggered when we connect to the server, join is when we connect to the channel, and everything else is kind of irrelevant for my use case in particular. So I can basically get rid of everything else, which is great. And yeah, this basically will just stay the same. I'm thinking about I just kind of want to wrap it in a way that I will just have like a very simple bot running in the channel, like basically the previous version of this bot that will just greet people. Something very simple like that. So let's get rid of all the things we don't need. So we don't need the event numeric. We don't need file transfers. So these are these. We probably don't need event channel. Yeah, we don't need that. Although actually maybe yeah, okay, I can always reintroduce it. Let's just get rid of it for now. And let's just make it as simple as possible. Again, file transfers, don't need that. Yeah, let's still file transfer. Private messages. Well, we are getting everything through this thing. So you probably don't need the private message event. So let's just get rid of that for now. Right, and so these are the two things we actually need. And yeah, we probably don't need this anymore actually. So okay, the actual message is this thing, right? So that's what actually comes in the buffer, and the buffer is just from the parameters. Okay. So actually I can make this code a little bit cleaner. So this is very C style code, which isn't particularly nice. So let's just clean it up a little bit so it's more C++ like. So instead of just like appending everything to a buffer, what we can do is just get vector of strings and just chug everything into that. So let's do that. This for loop we will need. Oh, we're actually printing the count, aren't we? Somewhere. Oh, so it only comes in one param. Okay. Well, I mean, that's okay. That's not... I mean, if it's coming in one param, then maybe we don't... this is actually an overkill. Let's just make it a string for now. And... yeah, instead of this concatenation of strings, let's just do very simple. Buff.append and just append the param at the position count. Okay. It's param, it's not param, right? So then over here, origin. Okay, so origin is null and this is just the metadata, right? Okay, so all of these, like the text and everything, we just get as part of the event. Then, interestingly enough, we don't get the origin field, which is a bit strange, but then the actual message is here. So what I'm thinking to do is actually parse this basically. But over here, yeah, I actually don't have to change that code. But what I'm interested in, so wait, what type of event is actually this one? Because that's one thing that, okay, let's clean up this code down here. Epic modes, unique. Yeah, I don't think I should need those. Okay, let's try and see if it works with this limited set of events. Yeah. Yep, that all works. If I do this, I still see the message. Perfect. I kind of think it's this one, the event private message, but it also could be the event channel. So let's try to just figure it out by commenting this out and running it again. Bot join the channel. Interesting. Now I got a completely different thing. Okay, this is quite curious. I'm not quite sure what just happened, I have to admit. But I got like a lot of join events now, which is curious because I don't quite understand why that would happen. But okay, if I do test now, okay, so I'm not getting, so it's not the private message then, so it's really the channel event. Interesting. Or maybe it actually is the unknown one. Could be. Well, let's test it with the channel event. Well, I know for sure this one isn't it. Okay, so let's just do that. Okay. So now the weird thing didn't happen. But I'm still not getting the info. So, okay, so we have narrowed it down, and then that basically means this is this unknown one. Which kind of makes sense because it didn't have the event header actually. Yeah. So let's just try to rerun and verify. Yes, so these are basically the events that don't have any specific event type, right? Well, I mean the event type is actually the tag annotation. Okay. Cool. No, now it's working. So we have these three events: the connect, join, and unknown. Perfect. Oh, one thing that I actually got a recommendation from the guys on the Twitch Dev Discord was the room state request. So after, okay, let's just get rid of one of these because I don't need it really anymore. But let's just do a room state instead. And now the question, I don't know if room state just will work straight up. Room state IRC. Room state Twitch tags. Okay, let's see if I just do this, what happens. don't think that did anything. Okay. But let's see. So the thing I wanted to do is over here. So let's try to parse this part, right? So if there is a message, okay. So I'm getting join. Oh, so I get this whenever someone joins the chat. Okay, so then, Right, so then actually the thing I might want to do is something like this. So when I get a join event, let's just log that, and actually let's just log using the log function and not just std out. Okay, now what I want to actually find in the event is this part. Now the problem is I don't. So when someone sends a message, I get this tag over here with the display name. Okay, so then maybe I shouldn't actually do it on the join. Right. Let's just get rid of these things. So let's make the bot a little bit more silent. And so whenever we get event, if it is a private message, which will be very simple, so just buff find priv msg. So if it is a private message, and yeah, let's find the display name in it. So if we have found the private message text inside of the string, then let's check. Let's check the position of display name. If it's again not found, I mean if you found it, only then do something. And we'll just make a small function here, be called greet std string username, and I will just have a simple scene users. Okay. So what are you complaining about? Oh, this is a string find that doesn't return. Oh yeah, so this doesn't return the end, this returns end pos, right? Is that correct? Yes. This is one silly thing that like searching through strings works differently than searching through containers. Right, so if we found the display name, then just grab the display name. So what I want to do is actually do again buff find searching from position. Okay, I need to check what exactly is the prototype, because there is definitely a find on a string that searches from a particular position, and that's the thing I want, because now I have found the position of the display name. I just want to find the end of that. So find right. Right, so these are from position. Cool. Okay, so it's very simple. It's just searching for string. So search for oh, but the last one doesn't have a semicolon. That's annoying. So okay, so instead of this, is there find first off? Yes, okay. So this one actually searches for characters. Right, so I want find first off, and so this can be either terminated by a semicolon or just the end of this string, which will be quotation marks. So I'm searching for the find first of these two things. But yeah, okay, so these two things, but from position was +1. So it will search from here. No, actually it will search from this is actually what I want. Display name equals right. So search from the one character after the equals, and then once I have that, I have the start and the end of the username. So what I can now just do is string username is buff substring. So the substring will be from this position, and the length of it will be end minus and again, this actually I want to again do only if I'm not outside of the string, so I definitely need this if. This is getting ugly and nested, but there's really no way to avoid that. Minus the start of the string, so this will be the number of characters. Okay. Cool. People are joining. That's good that I can see people joining the chat. So things are kind of working, at least on the Twitch side. So okay, let me just double check the indexes here if this is actually correct. So the end will be basically pointing to here, and if I do the post to this plus the out of this, so that will be pointing here. Right, this should be correct, I think. It shouldn't be off by 1, I hope. So then if that happens is, let's just do greet the username. So, and what I want to do over here is if scene users dot find, well actually I don't need to find, I just can do count username is 0, so if I haven't greeted this particular user yet, then just greet the user. So that I actually do. Oh crap, I have deleted that code, damn it. Well, okay. So send a raw message and it will be, oh damn, since I have deleted the code, it's a bit annoying, but I think it was, where the heck is it? State. Yeah, the bot keeps spamming, unfortunately, but that will get changed soon. I will need the session, right. Yes, that's correct. And let's just, I think the easiest way just to do it would be yeah, I had it here somewhere. Ah, yeah, this thing. Okay, so this is the format. And actually this should be a formatted string, so just do format. Correct? No? Ah, damn it, what's the method? Ah, just like lowercase, okay. Right. And username. So this should basically, whenever someone sends something to the chat, this should basically greet that person. I should only do it once. Of course, I actually need to remember that I did that. So users dot oh, it should just be another set, not map, right? Scene users dot and place std username. Okay. And what is it complaining here now? No matching function, IRC send row. It was IRC send row. Oh, because this is a string, right? And wait a second, is this actually taking... Oh, this is actually doing formatting. Oh, okay, sure. Then I don't even have to do this, which is cool. So let's just do formatting string, and then the username just need to be a C string. That's fine. Okay. Now this should be content, right? So, and I'm missing an include for the annotated set. Yep. Okay. Let's try running this again. Okay. Now if I just write into the chat, no. Okay, something went wrong. Right. I think we need a bit of debug logging to see what the heck happened. Hey, welcome. Oh, and thanks for the follow. So it's seeing the messages, but okay, let's do a little bit of logging. So let's log in here. So this is C-Lion. It's a commercial IDE, but you can actually get a free version as long as you are doing like open source. And it's very neat because it has like one specific thing that I haven't seen anywhere else is when you are calling a function or a method, it will actually show you the name of the parameter. So if you're like calling something that takes like, I don't know, 10 strings or 10, integers, it will actually show you, the names of the parameters, so you know which of the integers is what, which is like a amazing feature. Message contains display name, and let's just go through this step by step. So found the end of the username, and then over here just calling create for, and then just put in the username. Okay, so let's see what happens now. Okay, I'm connected. Message contains private message, but it didn't catch on the display name. Interesting. Yeah, obviously, because the display name is in a different field. Okay, now it makes sense. Well, again, you don't need to pirate this one. You can use it for free as long as you are doing open source development. You basically need to register with your like repository that you have on GitHub. And if you just want something free, the Visual Studio Code is pretty good. And I think even like Visual Studio you can actually use for free under certain conditions. I don't exactly remember how it works, but I think you should be able to. So this thing I actually want to look up in, not in buff, but in, which one was it? Event, right. Oops. Yeah, no worries, I'm always happy to help. Don't get intimidated by me just, quickly going through the code. Feel free to ask any questions, like I'm super happy to just stop for a bit and explain stuff. So define the display name in the text, get the position text, right, that's all modified correctly. This should be text. Right. Okay. something is wrong. Well, I code it in C++ because C++ is my main language. That's kind of the main reason, honestly. And also, I don't particularly like scripting languages. Like, I think it would be easier to write it in Go, for example. Go is kind of less verbose, pretty good language for like this type of stuff, but it's still compiled. And I definitely prefer compiled languages because it allows you to write the code in a much safer way. Cool, it's working. But yeah, like Python is like, honestly, you know, if you want to like try something yourself, just use whatever language you are comfortable with. I think that's like the biggest recommendation I can give to anyone. Perfect. So yes, it works. And it also doesn't double greet. Cool, okay. Perfect. So this is the fix from yesterday. So we have a very simple greeting thing. So what I actually want to do now is just I will need to restart it, so it will greet people again, unfortunately, but that's, I mean, yeah. Okay. So let's go over here, let's just rebuild it, let's just copy bin irc test into my home directory, and let's just run it from here. So I will stop this one and I will start it over here. Oops, no, Twitch cred, Twitch cred, right. Okay, so now it should be basically running on the background and just greeting people, and that's fine. Right, sorry, there was a question from someone. Oh yeah, that's actually a good point. I need to fix that. But yeah, okay, that's, let's just mark it as a to-do for next time. To-do, don't greet the streamer. Yes, okay, now we greeted you again because, yeah, I just restarted the thing and it doesn't persist anything. Cool. So that's working, which is good, which means I can actually have a look at the thing that I originally wanted to do this stream, and that was actually the YouTube support. So yeah, I mean, they should definitely do something. Yeah, like the bots usually just do some such thing, like the bot successfully joined the channel or something. I think the stream elements bot does print out something like that. I don't actually remember what it does do. Do I have it somewhere over here? Yeah, it basically says the bot is now running. Yeah. Cool. So, for the YouTube integration, I wanted to use this SDK, the CPP REST SDK, which is a thing from Microsoft, because it looked very neat. So let's do that. But it seems like this is actually available through Conan, which is cool because that would basically mean I can just come over here. Over here somewhere. Where the heck? There's definitely... Oh, over here it is, right, okay, cool. So this is basically all the libraries that Conan is pulling, so I just want to pull this one as well. Oops, what the heck. Alright, so reload the CMake, please. Will that work? I wonder. Okay, something is happening. So it's not freaking out, it's just compiling things. Yeah, this all actually seems to be so far working. We'll see if it actually finishes fine. Okay, more compiling things. Yeah, I think what is actually happening, it's the package itself is pulling a bunch of dependencies. So now it's actually compiling boost, which, I mean, sure, makes sense. Yeah, okay, you know what? Considering that this is compiling now, and this will probably take a bit, I will just take the 5-minute break right now, and I will be back with this thing being done, hopefully, successfully. So, see you in 5 minutes. Okay, I'm back and the thing is done compiling, so that's great. So let's just switch quickly back to the main. Right. What I actually need to do now is make this thing depend on the Conan package, and the package name is cpp rest. Okay, this thing. Right. So, oh, but I don't want this one to be depending on that, I want this one to be depending on that. Right. So, reload. Now it should be fast, it shouldn't be rebuilding stuff. Cool, that's indexing. Okay. Okay, not quite sure why it's reindexing the libraries, but okay, never mind. And yes, okay, so this did correctly compile and run. So we have the CPP REST SDK available, which is cool. So now for the actually hard part. So I should have the API bookmarked somewhere. It's in bookmarks. Where the heck did I put it? Show all bookmarks. Am I just blind? I'm pretty sure I did save that. No? What the heck? Okay, so let's just search for it again. So it was like, yeah, this thing, YouTube livestream chat. No, that's not the correct thing. YouTube livestream chat API was the thing I wanted to search for. Yes, this thing. Okay. So the tricky part here is that I think okay, so this is just an example for a simple HTTP request, right? But what I actually want is slightly more complicated. Yeah, are there more examples here? Samples. Okay. Alright, so I think I will need to do something like this. So if I understand it correctly, what this is actually doing, it's basically opening a browser and doing the, you know, login into YouTube or whatever to like grant it access to your information. Now the problem is I'm not quite sure what the setup for YouTube is, because they basically have here like a thing for Dropbox with the URLs here, and the same for like LinkedIn and Live. I basically need an equivalent thing for YouTube to get the OAuth token. And with that, then I can start talking to these APIs. Okay, then I guess let's just search for that. So, would be YouTube OAuth. URL, maybe. Server side flow, client side flow. That's probably what I want. Enable APIs for a project. Okay. Ah, cool. Okay, so this is the actual endpoint for the OAuth. Right. I will need an ID for an application. I think I need to just generate. I guess the redirect will be this thing. Okay, can I just find an example? So if I just do cpp rest sdk YouTube, will that find something? No, these are just videos on YouTube about this framework. That's not exactly what I want. I mean, I think alternatively I could just kind of use the same approach I'm using for Twitch and just generate the OAuth token and just have it in a file and use it. That would also be a solution. Facebook demo. I mean, yeah, like one thing is like all of these can just be accessed using an HTTP request if you fill in the required parameters. Yeah, basically the access token. Yeah, maybe I should just do that and not overthinking it, and maybe then eventually I can reintroduce the OAuth paths. But I guess I can still use this for that purpose, right? There's like basically the Bing request sample, right? Because this just basically does an HTTP client with bunch of extra fluff with like proxies and whatnot, but ultimately what it does do, it will just, yeah, so yeah, HTTP client request yeah, so this is actually what I want. I want the HTTP client wait a second. Open to query. This is a bit of a weird API. So this is returning a task with an HTTP response, which means that then I think this is actually called on the PLX task, if I understand the code correctly. So okay, what is actually this thing? This is something custom for this library. Right, it has the .then. Okay. Right. So I don't think... Okay, so the client request is returning a task. Okay. Oof, this is a little bit hard to read. This is kind of a strange library, honestly, but because everything is kind of async task oriented. But to be fair, it kind of makes sense for what it is. What is the CEST over here? So this is response body read to end file. Right. Okay. So let's just try to replicate this in a slightly simple form. So in our main, let's just grab this. No, doesn't want to copy paste. Oh, it did. Okay, it was just weirdly slow. Right. I actually don't really need the flex for right now, so let's just get rid of everything I don't need. Sure, that's fine. Yeah, okay, let's get rid of the flex and let's get rid of that. Okay, cool. So I don't need a proxy. What I want to do is just to create an HTTP client straight up. I don't really need that. Okay, does this... yeah, okay, it just can work with a simple URI, that's fine. And yeah, okay, let's not do Bing, let's just do google.com. Right, so let's do the request. Methods get Sure, but not return. So auto. Yes, then we have the .then thing, right? Okay, how exactly does this work again? Returns the result this task previous. If the task is not in a terminal state, a code to get will wait for the task to finish. Right, okay, so then if we just do this get, we will get the response. And it will block if the client request is still working, which is totally fine in our case, because we don't really need this to be async. Then the response... concurrency streams, I stream... I mean, sure, let's just do toString and let's just print it out. So technically this should go to Google search for CPP and then print out the HTML. In theory, so let's see if that actually happens. Okay, unused parameters, yes, of course. Well, we got some sort of response. I think this just printed the header, not the body. So I guess body. Yeah, okay, so what they do here is just they do read to end into the file buffer. And the file buffer... Right, okay, this is a special thing from... what exactly? Is this boost or where is this coming from? Yeah, okay, I'm not quite sure. And this looks like there's a lot of custom stuff over here, which... I mean... I can live with that, but it's a bit annoying. Okay, file buffer. Sure. Basically just want to dump the content, but I'm not quite sure how to do that. So again, what are the methods here? There's extract peak read line. And these things keep returning the PLX tasks, which, I mean, okay, makes sense. This is all kind of async. So let's see, file buffer. File stream. Okay, is there a constructor for the file stream that would just make it go to std out? Okay, let's do cpp rest file stream std out. Let's see if that's something that will work. File stream. Oh, we can just assign an output stream. Okay. So then I guess what I can do, yeah, still a little bit weird. No, I mean, this is a normal output stream, no? So we have an output stream. Oh, we just give it the buffer from the output stream. Okay, cool. So what I can do over here is read to end and just give it cout. No? Maybe not. Well, not like this, like this. I suppose probably need to end. Okay, let's see what it will complain about. Oh. So complain about very obvious stuff, okay. Yeah, I cannot get the stream buff out of cout, right? But I can get RD buff, right? Will that work? I don't know. So now it's refusing to convert a basic stream buff into the concurrency stream buff. But okay, so what the heck is happening here? We have a stream file stream. That's an O stream. So I mean, this should be. Oh, the problem is this is not the STD output stream. This is the concurrency output stream because it's coming from the concurrency streams. Right. File stream. So okay, let's just then get concurrency streams output stream. I think I really need to write it into a file. There's like no other option. That's quite annoying, honestly. Because I don't really want to like go through files when I'm just getting responses out of the requests I'm sending to YouTube. That would be very silly. And I'm sure there's a way to do that, because like if there isn't, it's really strange. I'm just really not seeing that somehow. Is there perhaps a concurrency streams? Oh yeah, there is a string stream. Okay. Perfect. So is there an O? There's no. There's just a string stream. Sure. Okay. That works then. Yeah, so we print out this thing, then take the string stream, okay, that's... This library is weird. Open OStream. Can I just pass it over here like this? Stream buff. Will that work, or will it explode? I guess. Oh jeez. Okay, let's just do it like this. So we open the O stream, then we just get the stream buff out of that. But now, so O stream dot. Okay, there's something wrong somewhere. Oh, because this is an overloaded word now, damn it. And this is... I keep making typos. Okay. Now this should... right. I mean, this should be a string stream. This should just straight up have like a get string thing. What the heck? Okay, this library is really mystifying me, I have to admit. Yeah, I'm obviously not the first person that has this. Does get... Okay, let's try this. Ah, okay. Okay, so response extract string. Okay, cool. Well, not response, but basically it's the task that we get from the request. Call extract string on that. Okay. That was very, very unintuitive. So, okay, can I somehow just craft a query that would get me something out of YouTube? I wonder. So let's just do the similar thing I did for Twitch. So let's just have okay, over here I take the credential file as a flag, so let's just kind of do a similar thing over here as well. Right. Well, actually, this still... Yep, okay, all this. Let's call it YouTube credentials file. Yeah, let's just rename these things around. And I will need to have a look what actually I need to store in the file, because I have to admit right now I'm not 100% sure about that. And right, this needs some modifying. So, yeah, okay, okay, I guess this is called intro, so let's just call it intro. YouTube credentials, right. Okay. That should all be fine. So let's try with this one. So there's these live broadcast lists, where basically I can list my broadcasts, right. Okay, so the scopes I need are these. Sure. Is there there's always the button to like look at the code somewhere here. Did I miss it? Show code. Ah yes, okay. Yeah, so I need the access token and the API key. So those are the two things I will need to have in the authorization file, the credentials file. Status, right. But otherwise, basically, this is the thing I want to do. Over here. So, okay, let's just create two strings here. So there will be the API key, so YouTube API key and YouTube access key. Am I writing that correctly? Access token, okay. API key and access token. Okay. Right. And let's just read that. So API key and access token. Right. So the HTTP client, yeah, I basically need to build it, append query, query segment in the form something equals something, right. So basically all of these I kind of need to represent over here. Right, yes, okay. So I guess the base thing will be just this thing. Then the URI builder, we need all of this, and then the things we want to append is the part. So part will be snippet colon content details colon status. Then broadcast type all, yes. So that will be another append query thingy. So dot. Oh, this is a little bit better formatted. This is really not good. Okay, something like that. So another append query, broadcast type, and the value will be all, and then another append query, and this will be mine is true. And key is the API key, sure. Okay, but I actually okay, there's more stuff I need to figure out. Append query, because I actually don't know how to modify the. So these are headers, and I This is just building the query, but I also need to modify the headers. So key and key will be YouTube API key, yes. That should be the URL fine. But now I need to modify the headers. Do I have this correctly? Yes. So is there append path, append query? Is there headers? No, doesn't look like there is. Interesting. So it's HTTP client. Maybe this will not find it. Okay, let's... What the heck was that? Okay, alright. Let's go to... which window was it? This one. Let's search HTTP client, CPP, REST, SDK. Right, so... Oh, there's a client config, maybe that has the headers. So these are just request. Okay, does this actually mention header at all in this file? No, there's like no mention of header. Okay. Oh, the HTTP client config actually has an OAuth thing in there. Interesting. So I could just do OAuth. Oh, this is quite interesting. Bearer alpha. So yeah, okay. So this is the thing actually that I have is the, but I mean not right now. I don't have it yet. But the bearer is the thing that that I actually want. Yeah. Okay. So basically I guess I would do set token OAuth token damn it, I'm getting the feeling that this that I like with this library I shouldn't really be messing with the tokens manually and I should just use the login pages. But again the problem is like I'm not quite sure how to make that work with the YouTube stuff. Request access at point and token from redirectory to URI, fetch an access token. Hmm. Phew. I'm sure I can just ignore this for now and just because I mean this should work with kernel, which is just straight up command line utility. There's no way that like all this complexity that I basically need to do all this complexity. Okay. Request. So I mean, this thing can optionally take the options. What's this one? Right, HTTP client config. So let's just try it with that. HTTP client config. So config dot. Set chunk set. Yeah, I don't even know how to set this header, accept header, which is weird. Like this should just be very easy. Like I don't quite get why. Maybe I'm looking at the wrong thing. I don't know. Yeah, but I mean this looks like it's the correct place. It has like things like SSL. Max redirects, all these kind of things. So, it's quite strange. Specified URI. Is there another? No, there's no other constructors. Just these two. So there needs to be a way to do it in here for the client config, because there's like no other way to do it. Okay, let's have a look at the examples again in the REST SDK. So, samples. This is not really. I mean, this really looks like it is what I want. And then basically with HTTP, where is it? Wait a second, what's this HTTP config? Right, yeah, basically here, once we have the OAuth, it just gets set on into the HTTP config, and that's how the authorization actually works. So I mean, yes, literally this is the thing I want. It's just that I'm not quite sure what these are for YouTube. I guess the authorization. Okay, let's just get this file and let's just play with this a little bit. So let's just create a new file over here. Let's call it OAuth test. Sure. And let's just create a new executable for this. Right, over here. Okay, reload. Right. So if I just do this, yeah, okay, bunch of errors. Undefined reference to. Oh shoot, because I'm calling it _test. That's not a good idea. Yeah, let's just rename this quickly. Refactor rename. I mean, oh yeah, and sorry guys, I actually turned off the chat connection between YouTube and Twitch right now. So yeah, John Doe is talking about getting tired after an hour of programming. Like it happens to me as well. It really depends on like what I'm actually working on. For some things, like it's not that hard to get into a flow. Oh wait, so this actually does have unit test? What the heck is happening here? Oh, where's the content of this file? What just happened? That's so kind of screwed. Okay, let's try this again. Yeah, I mean, it really depends on what I'm actually working on. Some things I can just like keep grinding on it like forever, but some things, yeah, can be super draining. What the heck has written functions accessible non-virtual destructor? That's yes, that's a weird thing to happen for sure. Yeah. build. Oh, unused parameters again, sure. That's fine. Ignoring return value. Right. Wait a second. But I thought that if there's a void in here, that should make it explicit. Sure. Well, let's do it this way then. Now it shouldn't complain. I actually wonder if this will work, because this is actually to be like a Linux library host not found. Okay, sure. Yeah, the problem is this gets tricky because this is being compiled in the Windows subsystem for Linux, which means this will compile for Linux, but then it's actually running under Windows, so not quite sure how that works. Okay, and I think I need to set some things over here, right? I need to set the app key and secret strings below, which is basically these, right? But I don't think that's actually the error that I'm seeing. It's throwing host not found. Okay, that's some not quite sure what it's actually complaining about here. Yeah, I think this is kind of running into issues with the fact that I'm running the Windows subsystem for Linux. Because I think this really wants to run in a way that it can basically launch the browser, and basically this part, like it should basically go through this path. Yeah. And John, though, if you want to know where I'm from, you can actually check my LinkedIn. I have everything in there. Right. So how do I do this? Like, the tricky part is that I think with this actually like in this terminal it actually might work. I don't actually think I have Firefox installed. Yeah, I don't. So what would actually happen if I try to do that? Okay, what is it actually trying to install? Some icon themes, some GTK free stuff. But then it's actually trying to install parts of X11. Yeah. Damn it, I would really like to figure out a way where this can just be a command line utility and doesn't actually require me to run the browser. The thing is with Twitch, I have an OAuth token and I just pass it in and everything is fine. But that's because it's happening through IRC, not HTTP. But there should definitely be like a similar way to do it as well. As in, I just pre-generate a token and I just have it. And when it expires, I need to generate a new one manually, right? But this should still be possible. I find it kind of weird that I would have to go through this flow where the browser opens. Which, I mean, yes, like that's definitely a possibility. Like it's a thing, but it should be possible to go without that. Set of right. So off to experimental of config. Let's have a look at this. If it opens, maybe it won't. Yeah, okay. Will this open? No. Set. Can I just do set token? Oh, I can. Okay. So experimental of to token. Set scope. This is just internal stuff, unfortunately. I'm getting the feeling that I will need to ask around a bit to figure out how to do this. Because yeah, I mean the thing is if I want to use the browser path, I would have to basically switch my entire toolchain and build this on Windows, which is possible to do, but it's a bit of an annoying switch. And I mean, maybe actually do I have that around? So if I go to settings, tool chains over here. Yeah, I don't have MinGV anymore. So I could do that. I could re-download MinGV and just use that to compile. But the problem is then I have a problem with Conan, because when I was trying this last time, I was running into issues with Conan not building correctly. So I could try that. And then it will be just a local Windows executable. And it should just work like any other Windows executable, and it should open the browser just fine. So okay, let's just try an empty project without Conan, just to see if it works in the most basic form. So let's just grab this again. Where's the okay, what the heck? Okay, this website is completely broken. What I want is actually this thing, I think. No? Oh yeah, this thing, right. So I want Windows. What the heck? No, this thing. Right. Okay, so I was actually on the correct page. Oh geez, why is this so complicated? Right, save file. Oops. Sure, let's do 64-bit. Okay. Right. So John Doe is asking about competitive programming and if it will make you a better programmer. And yeah, so sorry for me to relaying this, because again I disabled the chat relays. because I was working on the bot and it was just being annoying. It depends, right? So I think it will make you good at a very specific type of programming. So one thing I would definitely say is right now, like if your goal is basically to get hired, you know, and get a high salary somewhere, competitive programming actually is a reasonably good way to go about that. Especially if you like it. Like if you just hate it, then don't do it. It's silly, right? Like why would you do that? But if you kind of enjoy that, then like totally, it's definitely not a bad idea. The reason is like interviews at companies right now don't really test your programming abilities. They kind of test like a very narrow like approximation of that, which actually fits better with what you do in competitive programming. Also doesn't necessarily have to be competitive programming, like literally if you sit down and just go through, you know, lead code for like 3 months, you will have an extremely good chance of being hired at a company, at basically any company. But at the same time you will like be pretty good at what did I actually open the damn it, I thought I pressed the correct button. New window, right? Okay. So there's definitely an overlap between what companies test for in interviews and competitive programming. When it comes to the actual skills that you use at a job, that's very much debatable, but it also like software engineering is a pretty wide thing, so you know. Okay, what the heck is happening? Oh, because now this isn't... Now this doesn't understand the CPP REST library. Oh, jeez. How do I make this work? Oh, damn it. Yeah, the problem is now I need to figure out how to make Conan work. Oh, in this setup, which will be very, very hard. So I guess I think the best way would really be to figure out how to make the not this, damn it, this one. How to make the auth work just from command line. What just happened? Yeah, okay, this is just reload, come on. Okay. It's already happened once. Like sometimes C-Line just refuses to refresh the project correctly. Let's see if it loads now. Still not. What the heck? What are you complaining about? Cannot find any. What the heck? I have the toolchain correctly. I mean, it's building fine, so well, almost fine. Okay. But why are you refusing to load the CMake? I don't have a job overseas. How did you come to that conclusion, John Doe? No CMake profile. File reload CMake. Okay, come on. Okay, now it's picking up on stuff. Okay, that was weird. I don't know what was happening there. Right, and now it picked up on everything. Perfect. So, but I'm still no closer to resolving this dilemma. Let's see. CPP REST SDK manually specifying token. Fetched or manually. Ah, token from code. No. Ah, that's not it. Damn it. I do live in Zurich, but Zurich is definitely not overseas from Czech. It's still within the, European continent. There's no seas in between. Secret. Yeah, okay, I think I will need to ask around about this because I don't quite understand this library, unfortunately. issuing authenticated. So okay, so explicitly this is the step I don't understand. Pass the resulting auth config, but like how do I build the resulting auth config? This is the one thing I'm not getting. Because yes, I mean this is actually the use case I was talking about. I have a token and I just want to use it. I mean, John Doe, define near. But yes, like I mean, Switzerland and Czech Republic are not super far away from each other. It's still like, you know, quite a few hours of travel if you want to travel between them, but it's not like a day of travel. Construct. Yeah, I mean, again, like explicitly, this step is the step I don't get. How do I build a token from like manually? Set. Jeez. Do I just do auth token and then just put the token here into the access token? Maybe I do. So, I mean, yeah, I really need to ask around about this, I think, because I mean this sounds like what I want, but it's not clear to me how to actually make it work. I mean, so config set of experimental Yeah, I mean technically this should just work, but I doubt that it will. What is this thing complaining about? This isn't even from Hmm. You want to move to a country where life is more peaceful. It's kind of hard to judge because I don't know how peaceful life is in India. But I mean, I would definitely recommend Switzerland. Like, you know, I live here and it's good. So but I mean, like, there's plenty of European countries that are pretty good. And it also, like, really, within Europe, it really differs based on the cities. Like, some cities are not that amazing, but some cities are just completely chill, so you should kind of judge based on that. Damn it, the problem is, like, creating this auth config, it wants a bunch of information from me. Which I'm like, I just have the token. Like, why would it not just work with the token? Damn it, I really think I will need to just take a thing offline and ask some people about this, because the thing is, I think this is the correct library to use. That's number one. Number two, I think this is the correct authentication path for this particular use case, as in I just have the tokens stored on my disk and just use them. But somehow it's just not clicking together, like there's still something weird. Yeah, so England is especially now quite tricky with the entire Brexit thing, so I honestly wouldn't really like consider moving there, because there will definitely be a period of high chaos when they finally exit the EU. There will be a lot of laws in flux, and you know, who can stay, what documents you need to fill in and whatnot, and it will be a complete mess for at least 2 years, I would expect. So sorry, I don't really know what are the rules for visa sponsorship for outside of EU people. So for EU citizens it's very easy, because it's Switzerland is not EU, but it's Schengen, so it's like very easy. You just get the permit automatically, you don't really have to do anything super special. But for outside of EU people it's more complicated, I know for sure. Unfortunately, since I'm from Schengen, yeah. Yeah, Germany might be a good choice, but I would definitely say, you know, pick your city correctly, because again, like with like all of EU, things differ a lot between cities. Like some cities can be very xenophobic. Okay, damn it. I'm really thinking about ending the stream for now, because this is something I really need to ask about some people that know their stuff. And I'm actually not quite sure who to ask about this particular library right now. Yeah. because as I said, like this path, like this authentication path that I'm trying to do should just work. So yeah, let's just end the stream for now here, and I will be back next week for sure. Hopefully with all of this stuff figured out, and we will actually manage to finish the YouTube integration part. Because I mean, again, like if it's supposed to work with curl, then obviously it has to work with this library as well, which is way more sophisticated. Curl is just like a very simple HTTP client thingy. Yeah. I mean, the US is also tricky, John, though, like, super depends on who's in power, and, like, the current administration is very... making life for people very hard. When I worked at Google, like, there were a lot of people that were basically in a situation that they couldn't go home because they just wouldn't be allowed back into the country. So, it gets kind of hard. Okay, thanks a lot for watching, everyone. I will definitely be back next week. And yeah, I will do some offline research about this library and how exactly to set up the things correctly. But I think this is, like, I'm not far off from this working. It's just basically, once I get the response from this, it's just parsing the responses, and I should be able to actually read the chat, the YouTube chat. And then it's just a question of implementing also the posting, and I have all I need for the basic interaction with YouTube and Twitch. So yeah, see you next time.